If someone asked the people around you to describe your energy, the vibe you give off, the signal you send into a room, what would they say? What about your social media persona? And then I want you to ask yourself, does that match what you believe about yourself? Because I've noticed some people will walk around with a very clear identity. I'm a positive person, I'm a good friend. And then you open up Facebook, and that's not exactly what you see. Welcome to In the Driver's Seat. I am Lisa French, a former race car driver turned empowerment coach. This podcast is about exploring the power of mindset, belief, and deliberately creating a life that you truly love. I'll be sharing personal chapters from my life experiences, stories of resilience, heartbreak, rediscovery, and the lessons I've learned along the way. My goal is for you to find a little piece of yourself in my stories and inspire you to step into your power. Whether you're here to learn, reflect, or simply feel a little less alone in this world, you're in the right place. I am so happy to have you here as we journey toward a life filled with clarity, purpose, and possibility. Today's episode is about the gap between the person you want to be and the energy you sometimes put out. And I'm not saying this to call anyone out, including myself. I'm saying it because I think understanding that gap might be one of the most important things you can do for the life that you're trying to build. Think of like the happy, sunshiny, positive energy person who regularly posts complaints on social media or engages in arguments with complete strangers on like public forums or whatever. You've seen this. Maybe you've done this. It doesn't make anyone a bad person. It's just a gap that needs fixed. Why do people complain on social media? Not because they want to feel worse, it's because they want commiseration. They want someone to say, I know, right? They want to feel understood. They want validated that their frustration is real and justified. And that's deeply human. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel understood, except when you stay in commiseration mode, you're not actually moving toward feeling better. You're feeding that feeling. You're tuning your signal into the frequency and inviting others to tune in with you. Here's the distinction. Wanting to feel better and wanting to feel understood are two different things. One moves you forward and one keeps you company right where you are. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel seen. That is very normal. But if you're using social media or your conversations or your habits mostly to find company in what's wrong, you're not changing the vibration of your emotional state. You're just finding more people to stay tuned into the same station. So most of us have an identity we've claimed. I'm a loving person. I believe in good things. I'm grateful. And we mean it. It's not a lie. But your signal isn't just what you say about yourself, it's also what you practice. It's what you return to repeatedly, the emotional frequency you're often on in private, not just in public. That gap shows up in small ways all the time. You believe in abundance is possible and then you don't think you're worthy. You believe in your dream and then you talk yourself out of it because you're afraid you're going to fail. You claim joy and then you rehearse the worst case scenarios. None of this makes you a hypocrite. It makes you human. But it matters because what you practice, what you return to when no one is watching, that's your real broadcast. The signal you're sending isn't determined by the identity that you've claimed, it's determined by what you practice, what you return to, what you rehearse. what to reach for when something goes wrong. You can't positive think your way out of a habit if you're not aware of your actions. The first step is noticing, not judging yourself, just paying attention. So ask yourself, when I'm posting that, saying that, thinking that, what do I want in this moment? Do I want to feel better or do I want to feel understood? Both are okay, but it's the second one you can choose it consciously instead of unconsciously. You can acknowledge that you just need to be heard for a minute and then choose to confide in a loved one or a close friend instead of posting for everyone to join in with you. When I was going through my second divorce, I didn't announce it on Facebook. A lot of people didn't know that we weren't together anymore until they would ask me how he was doing. I didn't want people to tell me how awful his actions were. I didn't want to relive any part of it. I didn't want to be stuck in the past. I wanted to move forward. I wanted to be in a better place emotionally. So when you start shifting your signal, even in small moments, something changes. You start noticing different things. You attract different conversations. You make different choices. The energy changes before the circumstances do. And that's the whole point. Next time you reach for your phone to post something or vent something or share something, just pause for 1 second and ask yourself, what am I broadcasting right now? Is this going to tune me in to the station I want to be on? Because you get to choose, not every second of every day perfectly, but more than you think. And the more you choose consciously, the more your signal starts to match the life that you are building. If you want to keep exploring this kind of thing with me every week, join my newsletter, Hello Possibility. I send it out every Tuesday. It's story driven, real, and exactly the kind of conversation we had today, but in your inbox. You find it at lisafrench.rocks/newsletter. And also I will have a link in the show notes. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I mean that. Until next time, you're always in the driver's seat of your own life.